Test. Okay, cheers to the CPI this Tuesday, 0DT team. This is your routine briefing. So we're going to jump right into it. Obviously, a nice big move this morning. Super interesting because it was on top of really about 100 points without a downtick that we saw starting with that flip to double distribution in yesterday's session. We ended near the high of day, and we really didn't have much of a pullback overnight. I'm sure, as you saw, we continued that push higher, and then the news came out, and we pushed higher yet again. And what happened is we initially stalled out, and I was talking to my friend OJ, who may grace us with his presence in the chat today. We'll see just about how it, for me, it looked like kind of the worst case scenario. You had uh, that big move that looked like a trap in the day prior and in the overnight session, and it actually turned into just a continuation on the news itself. And so I was a little worried about it first was that we were just going to uh, consolidate kind of between that 4100 and 4180 and not really do much today. Yet we had the market had something else in store for us. So I've been short since about 4126. And the reason why is if you look at the open today, we had an open. Let me scroll down here so you can see a little better. We had that open drive, that bearish open drive, where from right out of the gate, price started to sell, and it never did reclaim that opening print before 10 o'clock. So you can see that in the 15-minute candle as well. You can see that we had that pretty aggressive move down and it just never recovered. So you have that. If you look at our pivots today, we have more a greater than 50% expansion in both the VIX and the ES pivots. And what that's telling us is that price has a tendency to revert toward the center of inventory, which today is at about 40.50 to 40.60. And that's I gave it 20-point zone just because of the you know the range of the move today, but it seems to me like we're the magnet is about 40 to 40.60. So I'm not going to be a little piglet today. If we do get to that 40.50 area, really 40.55 on the new ES contract, I'll probably look to close my shorts and thank the gods for the move. So we'll see. I mean, we're still at the 40.90. There's still a long way to go. Yet I think that we do have uh, that downward momentum. So just if we're looking at the gap fill itself, I like to use SPY for that. That'd be a little dramatic. That would be another, let's see. So that would be another almost $5.50, we'll say, to get back down there. So I'm not sure we're going to necessarily see that full gap fill yet. We do have the inclination today to move toward that primary demand zone at about 40.50 to 40.60. It's that double distribution again. It's just to the opposite side today. If you draw a profile from the overnight session to the present, you can see that we have that big distribution on top. We have that initiative move uh, below 4100. Now we're starting to build out that profile there, and we still have some to clean up, like I said, all the way down to 4060. So it all makes sense that we will go toward that gap fill, perhaps a spot to maybe try some longs near that 4060 area. Let me just check, see where the gap is on SPX. So yeah, so the SPX gap would be at about 3990, which corresponds to that 40, let's say 40, near that prior day close. No surprise, that's kind of definition of a gap. So I mean, hey, it's in range. It's one of these crazy CPI days. What I'm noticing is today really looks like almost an inverse of the October 13th move, where you had that huge push and then the quick and aggressive reversion. So we'll see. Again, I'm watching that 40.40 to 40.60 area. A, to just close the position I have on now, be super happy with the profits there, and B, to reevaluate and maybe reset for the day. So that's what we're looking at. That's the Oh, nice. Hey, Alienated, nice to see you in the chat here. Set sell at 40.50. Oh, nice. So we're on the same page there. Great. So little confluence in that sense. So yeah. So we'll see. Um, I'm glad to. So Alienated, since you're in the chat, do you have anything specifically that you were looking at that gave you that number? 40.51 is actually my perfect number, quote unquote. So if you're at 40.50, you're like 1 point away. So I'm curious what you saw. Um, if you have the time and availability, I'd be interested to see that. I'm just going to move on while waiting for your potential response. So yeah. So that's the general overview. Yeah, if you look at our chessboard here, a lot of really nice things went on today. So you had that push above our supply zone, and as soon as RTH opened, RTH didn't build any value outside it. So we popped right back in. You're seeing that kind of macro false break type look. And on top of that, you can see we just missed this naked POC at 41.80.25. We just took out that single at about 41.70. So really nice cleanup on this move before we resume the trend down. So now right now, no surprise, we're consolidating kind of near that monthly value area high. We'll see if we bounce, but again, I do favor some more reversion. So you can see another one of the major um, characteristics of these double distribution trend moves is you see those singles. So you can see on this profile we have the singles from that overnight move, and very often when they do reverse, price likes to go clean it up. So if we do get all the way down to that 40.38.50, that is going to be right near the gap fill. So that's probably where we may go ahead and see that gap fill. Yeah, right now as we consolidate around the monthly value area high, this could be a spot where we sit for a little bit or perhaps even bounce a little. So that's what we're seeing on the chessboard. If I go look at volatility real quick here, um, you can see we did make that move to that pivot low. So this is just to clarify, this is the daily pivot. So the lighter green is the pivot low, and then like the semi-red is the pivot high, and then on the weekly, it's kind of this more narrow 25.15 to 24.05. So we're hanging out below that weekly pivot. Where again, as we test this monthly value area high, we're also testing the downside of the VIX. So what we want to see, if you're a bear and you want to see that continuation to our demand zone that we're talking about, you want to see us pop back above this 24.05 and even better 24.15, so VIX can revert a little bit. So lots going on. I think it's really interesting. I think it's a good look. Um, I think it's a fairly clear look on the short side. As long as we don't start to get too much initiation, for me that would look like getting back above that 4100 area. Yeah, it looks like a good short look to that demand zone, that 4050 area that alienated and I both have, and we'll see what happens down there. If we get there, it's gonna, like I said, it's a nice clean look, and if we don't, we can just trade around the reaction to this monthly value area high. So um, good luck today. Keep in mind that tomorrow we do have the FOMC, so likely to be more fun in the afternoon there. We have quad witching at the end of the week, so we're just getting started. And I'm really excited to have a nice move today to trade around, and we will continue tomorrow. Let me just look at Alienated's comment here. Very nice. Great trading, and I hope that chessboard is helpful. I picked the top of the two profit market. Very nice, very nice, cool, man. Yeah, so I'm glad that you are having a good trading day, and I hope that anybody else who comes across this video or is watching is experiencing the same. We will be back tomorrow with another pre-FOMC analysis. If you want to engage with me before then, please feel free to comment on this video, reply to the newsletter. Twitter is available as well. You can see those descriptions or those links in the description to this video. And that's all I have for you today. So, like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. Alienated, great seeing you in the chat here. And I hope to see more of you. I hope you have a good trading day. And everybody else, stay classy until tomorrow.